everyone, I am Beldad.
And I am Sebios.
And today we will learn about the head, heart, and hands as a strategy and methods in teaching mathematics.
Our objectives at the end of this lesson, students should be able to define the head, heart, and hands approach on a strategy in teaching mathematics. Identify the domains of learning that is related to the head, heart, and hand approach. And lastly, elaborate the relevance of head, heart, and hand approach in teaching mathematics.
Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, a Swiss pedagogue and education reformer, emphasized that teaching should be a unity of the head, the heart, and the hands. That is, the unity of the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of learning. He believed that this would help create individuals who are capable of knowing what is right, what is wrong, and acting according to this knowledge. Thus, the well-being of every individual could be improved and each individual could become a responsible citizen. He believed that empowering and ennobling every individual in this way was the only way to improve society and bring peace and security to the world.
The first approach is the head, or what we call the cognitive domain of learning. The head stores all the psychological and intellectual functions that enable us to understand the world and create rational judgment about certain things. More specifically, this process includes perception, memory, imagination, thought, and language.
Next is the heart, or the affective domain of learning. Learning is not only a mental process, it is influenced by our feelings. Emotions stimulate our learning and determine whether we are confident in this learning. We believe and give significance to a thing only when we have strong feelings about it. This affective area is typically understood as values, feelings and attitudes, and presence, responsiveness, giving significance, and expressing values. And lastly, the hands, or the psychomotor domains of learning. The psychomotor area is responsible not only for physical skills but also for precision, coordination, and manipulation. It emphasizes on objectives which focus on motor activity, ability, and skills. The part of the brain that processes movements is the very same part that processes learning. Movements and learning are thus in continuous interplay. If learners are given the opportunity to watch presentations, listen to explanations, touch and disassemble models or objects that they can handle, there is a greater probability that learning will take place in line with the preferences of all students. The opportunity to move often, to activate the brain, and to bolster learning is another important factor of successful learning. This includes more frequent use of technology, flexible schedules, teacher and student collaborative teams, and doing away with organizational divisions into departments and subjects.
So how we can apply this approach in class? For example, solving a puzzle as an activity on the topic geometry of shapes and sizes. For the head, or the cognitive domain of learning, students demonstrate understanding of key concepts of geometry of shapes and size. Then, students carry out a mathematical strategy or technique within the context of solving an engaging puzzle which may be facilitated or posed by the technology. For the heart, or the affective domain of learning, engage students in grappling an important mathematical idea that requires them to expend effort to make sense of and solve the puzzle. Allow them to realize the main point of the activity and how that fits within the current sequence of lessons through brainstorming or group efforts. For the hands or the psychomotor domain of learning, the possible technologies that students can utilize in doing the activity are virtual manipulatives, web-based puzzles such as Magic Square, and mathematical brain teaser websites such as CoolMath.
And now, let's test if you have learned something from this video lecture. For our question 1, he emphasized that teaching should be a unity of the head, the heart, and the heads. Letter A, Benjamin Bloom. Letter B, John Piaget. Letter C, Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi. Or letter D, Edgar Dale. And the correct answer is letter C, Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi.
Number 2. It holds the psychological and intellectual functions that help us to create rational judgment about things. A. Heart. B. Head. C. Hands. Or D. Affective.
The correct answer is letter B, head. For our third question, a learning domain that is specific to discrete physical functions, reflex actions, and interpretive movements. Letter A, cognitive. Letter B, affective. Letter C, psychomotor. Or letter D, associative. And the correct answer is letter C, psychomotor.
Number 4. It holds the emotions to stimulate our learning and determine whether we are confident in learning. A. Heart. B. Head. C. Psychomotor. Or D. Cognitive.
The correct answer is letter A, heart. And for our last but not the least question, it holds the psychomotor area that is responsible not only for physical skills but also for precision, coordination, and manipulation. It emphasizes on objectives which focus on motor activity, ability, and skills. Letter A, cognitive. Letter B, affective. Letter C, heart. Or letter D, hands. And the correct answer is letter D, hands. Thanks for watching!